Do do. Now that we've listened to Thus Spec Zarathustra, we're gonna play this game. Now that we've listened, and we're gonna start by cracking open a Diet Pepsi because we haven't had any in my house for a couple weeks. And it's like my favorite drink. My friends would find it really weird. I mean, technically I was off caffeine for a while last year when they were still diagnosing my celiac disease. They told me to go off caffeine. And it still helps. If I'm having rough days, going off caffeine helps a bit. But anyway, it's been a long time without. And this is one of my things I do. So I'm going to drink this. That's pretty satisfying. That is quite satisfying. I'm happy I drank that. Let's try a fun thing. Let's use focus with Setzer. He turns into Esperterra. That's hilarious. Oh, we might be a little bit doomed though, because those chickens can cast Quake. We don't want that to happen. That was not as effective. Whoa. Weird looking. I don't think I mind the way that worked. That was weird but okay in my book. He's probably blocked from using that command until Terra gains more magic points. But okay, this is not that bad. I haven't fought Chicken Lips yet, I don't think. How long are we playing tonight? What's the plan here? 9:13 my time. Well, I guess we'll see. I was up quite early this morning. My son woke me, the one that's sick, woke me up about 20 after 4. But then it was kind of weird. Like, I helped him with what he needed help with, because he's a baby, he needs a lot of help. And, oh yeah. I'm just trying to remember where I'm at here. Okay. And then he seemed to be indicating with eye rubs and such that he was ready to go back to sleep. So I put him back to sleep, and I got to sleep an extra hour or so between like 5:15 and 6:15 when everything started coming together in my home, because that's what we do. I may as well steal more triangle hats, right? They're not disruptive. Oh, good, a cat. Lately I've been tweeting when I start playing, but I find it's not doing anything. And probably anyone who cares is getting an alert of some sort. Because I got a few people who follow me, mostly friends, right? A few people who are not close friends. They could be friends. They are a friendly bunch. But I mean, I don't exactly play these games for the audience. I play these games because I want to play them. I would be doing this whether I were streaming or not. It just happens that I'm going to stream. I think it's interesting. And then, you know, I don't have to talk to myself. I mean, I am talking to myself, but it seems less like I'm talking to myself. Should I recap what we're doing with this playthrough? I mean, it's kind of explained in that giant sidebar. But we are intentionally limiting ourselves by class. We've got some of the main cast who are designated knights, who have no special commands. Their exclusive equipment tends to grant the two-handed weapon ability that's normally the gauntlet in this game, and the cover property that's normally a property of an accessory called True Knight or Knight's Code. We got thieves. They have custom flee command as well as the steal command. The flee command basically casts warp for free. And they can equip basically lock stuff, but not swords. Knives, throwing weapons. Maybe that's it. considering so much of the best equipment in this game is swords, specialty swords. Edgar, the people who are knights have you know, a pretty good situation. It's good to be a knight. It's good to be all of them. You got Sabin, Sellers, and Strago, all these sound people, except Setsu. They are designated as white mages. White mages have a pray command, and it's not the same as Banon's, it's weaker. Because they can spam it unlimited, and it seems kind of cheap having a free cure 2 all the time. It's still kind of cheap, you'll notice I'm using it frequently. So they got Prey and White Magic, and they learn a little bit from a new bit of White Magic exclusive equipment, like, for example, the cat ear hood is White Mage exclusive. And there are a couple of staves I've added, because staves and rods aren't as distinct in this game as they are in other games. In fact, there are no staves in this game. Magus staff? I think it's called Magus rod, yeah. So, I've added them in by getting rid of brushes, because brushes were no longer necessary and seemed the most staff-like. And then black mages. And the espers. For the most part, the espers were offensive in nature or not, and I just made them more so that black mages can only equip black magic espers, and white mages can only equip white magic espers. That's not done with a hack, that's done with honor system. You're gonna see me paying attention to that. I mean, hopefully. It was your idea, Banon. Why are you so confused? It was like this when we got here. That's a funny line. I was kind of wondering if I could go and get the treasures beforehand. So this part's going to be a little intense. I might get a little bit focused for this. Because I do want to get the prizes. Little different from vanilla there. In addition to the hacks I've applied, some of which are equipment based and some of which are just making those classes work. There's some script edits, and they're mostly subtle. They're from the Ted Woolsey Uncensored edition. That also does other things like rename the monsters to match newer translations, the items, the magics. So they're mostly it's a modernization thing. They're closer to newer versions of this game and other Final Fantasy games. These guys don't count, do they? One soldier talked to. That didn't count. I don't remember how many the actual maximum is. I shouldn't have come in here, but since I did. I have no way to kill this guy quickly the way I normally would. Oh, that'll do. Oh, no it won't. I thought that additional spell was gonna... Okay. That wasn't super slow. It's slower than I'd like. Ah! I've already talked to you once. Get out of my way. Darn, that place had good music. Right. The most important thing is remembering not to talk to Kefka, because he wastes a huge amount of time. I feel like these are a little different. I think this guy fights also. I have a feeling I'm not going to get the very best prize. Ah. And there's nothing... Yeah, okay. I'll try and not get these treasures here. I'm very tempted by a treasure box, but I'll work hard not to get them. Don't get the treasure, don't get the treasure, don't get the treasure, don't get the treasure. But isn't there one down here anyway? Yeah. 21 people. And then Kefka takes forever and doesn't count. So you just walk outside, and there's a couple guys out here. One fights you and one doesn't. Hey, that guy sounds mean, but he doesn't fight you. I think this is the last one. I just have to somehow beat a Mega Armor in 36 seconds. He can't do anything. If he can proc his Thundara, we're all good. Hey! That wasn't so bad. So if we want to have some fun, maybe we can get Kefka in the last couple seconds. This is a weird, fun thing. This isn't really fun. Let's see what happens when time runs out when he's still talking. Oh, now answering these questions is going to be kind of tricky too. I'll probably get it. There was a good discussion on the FF6, FF3 board at Game FAQs about this recently, and someone was saying they thought the best options were nonsensical. And they said kind of like, you don't want to lie, but you don't want to embarrass him, is what some people said as this was translated very well. I always thought these answers were weird, and it's funny because I've defended Woolsey a little bit, but To Our Homelands is definitely the right answer. Pardon me. Kefka's in jail. What shall we do with him? Leave him in jail. I believe you have to say that was inexcusable, because apologize again is just a pretty obnoxious thing to say, and what's done is ignoring the magnitude of the situation. I think we say we trust Celeste. Yes, we want to ask all three questions. Why'd you start the war? One more question, please. Why do you want peace now? One more question, please. If you ask the same question twice, you lose a bunch of diplomacy points. There we go. Yeah. In vanilla, the first option was something like the espers have gone too far, and that's the right answer, so I believe that's the right thing. And you don't blame him by picking the second option, so it makes sense. That line, though, was grammatically pretty sloppy, as far as this being the definitive translation. You have to make sure you tell him the right question. I went in order, so... Yes, let's take a break. We're tired from talking and eating. Talking and eating is hard. Now we're gonna fight the SP forces. I got a preemptive against them. I wonder if that's normal. As well. He said he's sorry. That you really want that your war is truly over. I feel like it's the war truly over is the one that's sticking out in my memory. Remember I was talking in Zozo about I'll never forget the time on the clock is 6:10:50? I forget this. I think it's this one. And these options are very close to vanilla, so it's not a translation difference. I think it's that one. So I didn't modify Leo's stats. I don't think I modified his equipment. I'm not considering him to be class like my party. But I did repurpose his shock command, so I gave him something different. He's still not going to be able to beat a Guardian. Let's go get those treasures we skipped. So if we get the Charm Bangle, or Ward Bangle, or whatever it's called, that would mean we did really, really well. Is that the best prize? I don't remember. Tintinabar is one of them, or Tintinabulum. Hey, I got all the prizes. Nice. I thought Charm Bangle was called Ward Bangle in the newer translations. Isn't that funny that they would be shipping Magitech armor over there? Okay. Thief. Black Mage. Do we even have access to... Well, it looks like everyone got auto unequipped. Okay, good. Sure. I think we'll do this earring thing again. That's been working out nicely. Although I guess she can wear the hero ring, because why not? And he will use Thief Bracer Hermes shoes, I guess. And what has she been learning? Poison, Fira. Oh, can't use Kirin. Could learn that. Got a few options, really. Not many, when I think about it. Really, she's got to learn Fira or Katablapaz stuff. And Imp. Those are Terra's only options at the moment. And I think she would learn Fira via level. Maybe I should give up on what I'm doing there for a sec. That may not be so wise. Oh, not that one. That one. Or I could learn Imp, but no, that sounds pretty stupid. This house is on fire, but I believe the lady inside still heals us. She's not even worried about the house being on fire. She's a real trooper. Not a real trooper. She is a metaphorical trooper. I don't know, I'm glad I did so well at the banquet. That was pretty cool. Well, this is kind of neat, because Locke can just kill these guys in a hit if he gets the throw effect on the Hawkeye. Whoops, well, okay. Walking on this desert is actually kind of dangerous. Just a little. I don't want that guy to use Sandstorm. That would be inconvenient. So I was talking earlier about there being goodies in this base. And I was not lying. So this was unlocked. This was one of those things I gained. And it's actually a lot of prizes and a lot of money. Angel wings. I wonder if I'll be able to make any practical use of that. I've got some of these things recently. A free Hermes shoes, I pointed that out earlier, or made mention of that. Yeah, and I knew there was something else hidden down here, but I think that's it. Good stuff. There's no reason to come here other than to raid the treasure, if that were not clear. These guys have a pretty irritating attack they use sometimes, and I don't mean that one. So we're going to make sure they all die. a thing we do. Amano was feeling pretty funny when he designed enemies like that. Oops, hit the wrong part of the music. I wasn't just off key. That wasn't the only reason. Terra learned poison. That is from the poison rod, actually. Any reason to equip something else now that she's learned it? I could give her the assassin knife. She could kill things. Gives her evasion. You know what? Why not? As long as I'm not fighting undead, which I would be if I were in that desert. General Celeste and Margaret. Leo doesn't even turn his back to see what's going on there. This soldier is very agreeable. Does he come with us? I believe in vanilla. This is funny. I think this is very similar, except that, and they use the word garrote, but there's an exclamation point at the end that makes it sound really, like, playful to me when I read it. There aren't a lot of places you get to hear this kind of music in the game. 2, I guess, if I think about it. Now see, here's what I keep talking about, the space after the ellipses in this translation. I wonder if maybe it's done because of actual space available, but here's what's funny is, partly this is based on vanilla, and here we have a part where there's a ... I with no space, and then ... B and a space. Also, that B should not be capitalized. Whoa, I just realized me pointing at the screen like that, my hand looks huge. Sorry. Pardon me. I guess I'm not used to handling my whatever's in this, whatever awful chemicals. Sometimes people try to tell me how bad for me aspartame is, and I basically tell them, you are right. And I tell them, it's kind of my one vice in this world. You know, and the people who tell me aspartame is bad for me, they probably regularly drink alcohol, or smoke, or take antidepressants. There's so many things that we ingest and don't fully understand, sometimes voluntarily. I don't fully understand aspartame. I know it's got a bit of a nasty background, and that probably I shouldn't be consuming it, but I don't know. There are a lot of worse things I could be having, I think. Maybe one day I'll be proven wrong. And that'll be okay. I don't mind being wrong. He's like, dang, you stomp on my heart. This whole set of scenes is pretty cool. It starts out with this little bit of development for Terra, which is, you know, she needed at this point. And maybe she didn't so much. She had a focus a short while ago. But it makes Shadow a little more interesting, and then it you know, ends with Locke. It all goes together very nicely. It's all the same as vanilla, and it's an interesting line. Oh, shrouded one. That's good. Oh, crap, I forgot this part of the game. I'm gonna have 2 thieves temporarily. I think I'm going to run from everything and finish this part of the game as fast as possible. And I won't even equip Shadow, because I think that'll break my rules. I didn't think about this earlier. That's a rotten shame. But, you know, it's pretty easy to just not utilize Shadow at all for right now. So that's what I'll do. I really honestly hadn't thought about this at all. Okay, he comes with nothing, which is a bit of a relief. And that would be because I stripped him earlier. Anyway, we're just going to use Flea. This would be a good opportunity to steal Gaia gears, but I don't want the rules to get fuzzy, so we're not doing that. We want you as our white mage. honestly, can't say I have. The very essence of one's soul, a little different from vanilla there. I like these little scenes. Gah! Oh, alright. Cure. Medicine. Where is my cure medicine? That's funny, right? Pretty funny. There's not a lot of places where there's items in barrels. You find a ton of them in South Figaro. If you leave them until after the midpoint of the game, they change, just like some of the ones we've seen so far. But I never really find it worthwhile. I get free stuff when I can get it, pretty much. Free stuff is nice. No real benefit in any of these right now. But there is good gear. Well, normally there's good gear here. I don't know if it's going to do us any good. Mystery Veil is cool. Gaia gear, partly because of Earth clothes, and partly because of Gaia gear and vanilla, it's equipable by everyone. But I feel like we should wait until we can steal it off the Baskervores, so we're just gonna sit out. We're gonna do something. How is Terra doing with the slow spell? Does she have slow? She does. Mystery Veil is always gonna be a good upgrade. Oops. So, nothing else here. I guess you're just supposed to go stay at the inn. You can get one more thing over here. Somewhere, I think. Am I tripping? Maybe it's only later? Or maybe it's here. Yeah, that's kind of an obscure one. I don't know if I'm ever going to make use of it. But why am I going here? This isn't the right place. Oh, maybe he has a clock. No, no clock. Come on, guys. How do you tell the time? What is this magic? I am Guy Incognito. We might have to do some kind of trickery to beat Flame Eater. Are we gonna need, like, reflect rings? Because does he always have reflect? Or does he just cast... I think he casts reflect. Good place to get ice rods, though. Keep one equipped, it should be fine. Cast the well-known Flames Be Gone spell. Just like Sela's cast the well-known Make Magitech Armor and Kefka Go Up spell. I like the random person who comes charging over at the last minute. I'm so glad they waited for her. May as well keep that. You are a white mage, Strago. What's our plan for you? Probably be best to give you Seraphim that does, you know, actual useful spells. In this case, I'm going to do something funny. I'm going to keep Terra with the Hero's Ring. Maybe keep him with earrings. But Terra's going to be attacking, and she's going to be able to attack usefully, unlike Strago. So. Do we care about 1 point of magic? Whatever. Okay. You know what's funny? Strago's class being White Mage 1 word. Minor error I made there. Is there anything these two can do to be more useful? Not until we get an ice rod. Oops, I walked directly into the fire. Tip for other players. Don't walk directly into the fire. Will Blizzard take them out? With 2 of those magic power-up thingies? Oh, not bad. That'll probably be reliable once Terra gains 1 more level. And the enemies here seem to give pretty good experience, so that's a treat. Oops. I really wanted Blizzard to go first. Ah well, he's fast. I seem to be bad at avoiding these guys. I've done low-level play without significant issues. I like the animation for Blizzard. Everyone gained a level, so that's nice. Strago learned Cure because Seraphim teaches it at a very high rate. Kind of a crazy rate, frankly. He's also going to be learning Poisana because of the Mithril Rod he has equipped. Mithril Staff. And then I guess we'll switch to a Morning Star later. I don't know that it was worth it to just attack other than normally. That assassin dagger was really strong for some reason. Why would that be? Did she critical? Why is it so strong? I guess rows are gone inside attacks. It's not a super strong weapon. That's kind of peculiar. Yeah, whatever. Uh-oh. I was hoping for an ice rod. I don't remember which doors are which. But I want rods. Flame rod. That is not the rod I desire. It'll still be helpful. What if she were to attack? Actually, it doesn't do amazing damage. Okay. Give him a real weapon for just in case. Good thing I'm not running low level right now because this wouldn't be going well. How many times would I have reset? Should be noted, I've done it on console. Like, I've done it on... I don't know if I've done it on Super Nintendo, but I did it on the thingy. PlayStation. I call it the thingy. So we have a nice way to learn Fyra in our rod, but equipping a fire rod right now would be dumb. So we're not doing that. That's strong. Not gonna break an ice rod against the boss, that's for sure. I don't think this will end up being a problem at all. Normally we'd have access to Aqua Rake, but this will be fine. Unfocus. That was basically that. Is this going to end the fight? No. And the experienced bosses mostly give no experience in this game. But I think all the bombs count, so... Ooh-ah! I, for one, am happy that Woolsey does things like ooh-ah rather than writing out the word shriek. This scene always struck me as funny because Shadow uses a smoke bomb to escape a burning house. It already has smoke. Furthermore, smoke bombs can't be used to escape buildings in this game. You should say, I'll use a warp stone. Actually, Realm can't use magic anymore at all. Skips a generation. Kind of weird, but I'm going to put the Flame Rod on Terra now because Fyra is the only black magic spell. Or because it's a spell she can learn from a rod that we have. Certainly not going to do any harm. Having a knight is handy. I don't feel good about not having... Is that guy going to walk right in the middle of their conversation? I don't think I've ever seen that before. Woof. Woof.com. Alright, do we need any things? I don't think so. We should probably just go. Are all the rods not buyable here? That's weird if they're not. Oh, they are all buyable here. Should we have more of those? Let's get more of those, because why not? Hawkeyes. Do we want more Hawkeyes? They're pretty handy. We're gonna have better... why not? Less flippy-floppy equipping, maybe. Except probably I'll keep doing it. When you have consistent Knight, Thief, White Mage, Black Mage parties, it kind of means you're gonna have an equipment setup you like, and you'll probably keep swapping it around. That's my point of view, anyway. Okay, this is good. Oh, should I steal a whole bunch of Gaia gears? That would be pretty boring to watch, wouldn't it? If I remember correctly, it's the rare steel, but they don't have a common steel. So you can just sit here stealing it or not for a very long time without any significant drawbacks, as long as the guy doesn't sneeze you away. Getting like 4 Gaia gears would be pretty sweet. Yeah, probably could upgrade again, but no big deal. I believe his steel will be accurate, and then you got a 1 in 8 shot at getting the rare steel. So, you know, sometimes you have some bad luck. I had pretty good luck with regards to stealing from those dogs earlier. The ones who gave me triangle hats. If I had like a bunch of nerdy friends, maybe not nerdy, but Final Fantasy enthusiast friends, and we threw like costume parties, Halloween, or just being dorks, I think it'd be pretty cool for someone to like bring their dog dressed up as a time mage. I think a dog would look good in a triangle hat. And then this hack would make so much sense because of that too. So, if you're a bit of a Final Fantasy enthusiast or nerd or something, and we ever have a costume party and you bring your dog, there's something to consider. This is time consuming. Things that are time consuming are, I guess sometimes they're fun. When you're grown up and you don't have as much time for things, though, they don't seem as fun. Anything time consuming is less worthwhile. I was writing a script for Final Fantasy 1 to show status effects on the enemies, and it's fully working now. I might want to move it to another file and clean it up a little. I've talked about my FF1 scripting before, but it'd be nice to have one in this game, right? Display enemy status effects. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, you stupid tapir. Who invited the tapir? Who actually invited the tapir? What weirdo had that idea? Like, how about instead of our characters just waking up, a tapir shows up and makes a weird noise. There we go. You lose a lot of magic. Earth absorption is nice, though. Well, it's nice for him. Yeah, even Locke, I might not take it off because the power sash is pretty darn good. But Gaia Gears open up some strategies later when you got access to a Quake spell. Or when enemies have access to a Quake spell. So they're pretty cool to have around, I think. Oh, first try. Strago learned Raise and Slow. How's the Seraphim business going? Everything except Asuna. Multitasking. Another one. After this, we'll have our 4 Gaia Gears, and we'll just be happy about it. I say 4 because it outfits a single party. That's probably good. Yeah, there we go. Locke gained a level, just what we needed. So do I want to do one more area, or do I want to go to bed? I could use a reasonable night's sleep, as we discussed. Let's check Locke's armor. It's a pretty small bonus to lose all those stat gains. Stamina, meh. 1 point of speed, meh. 5 points of vigor, though, is pretty significant. And he's not a bad damage dealer. I think I want to leave him with the Power Sash. Do we want to even go into this dungeon? Well, there's a heal staff. Like, right away. Otherwise, I'd say forget it. But it's right away. Interesting. I don't believe Strago's likely to win. Hey, he won. You know what happened there? We didn't get to see it because of what I was doing. But he used his desperation attack, which is a little bit hilarious. Heal Staff is, well, it targets the team. I believe it teaches Cura, but Strago already has that. But it is a useful single target alternative to Prey, right? Oh, it doesn't automatically target the team. That's yucky. I don't know that we'll want to keep on a rod that targets the enemy with healing. It'll get too awkward if someone's berserked. Oh, hey, it's you. Good, how are you? Do I say your username or do I say your name? Because your username is weird. Like, am I supposed to say Sessile? Sessile is a weird name. But you have an extra S. Say whatever I want, eh? Yeah, I'm good. How are you? If Terra had learned Fyra, I would fight this battle, but it's just gonna be awkward now, so let's not. Take my nouns, huh? I think I'm gonna keep playing because a friend showed up. So I was talking about going to bed because I sleep sometimes. I had a thing where a kid woke me up at 4:30 this morning, which was a lot of hours ago. But it's not as bad as it sounds. Oh yeah, this. This is another one of those boss fights that I kind of had to mangle. So I don't know if it's gonna be really stupid. You can't sympathize. You have no spawn. Well, yeah, exactly. The reason I say it wasn't that bad is that it's a baby, and he woke up at night, and he woke up at about 4:20 a.m. and kind of quickly I gave him some medicine and then kind of convinced him to go back to sleep. I wasn't paying attention to this script. I wonder if this part actually might have been changed a bit in this retranslation. I also feel like my phone is buzzing a lot. Let's just make sure my wife's not getting me in trouble. Yeah. So I was able to convince him to go back to sleep for a short time, so... So yeah, because this is Ted Woolsey Uncensored Edition, they have been using the term Warring Triad. Yeah, this boss fight, I think it might be one where I had to set his HP really low to pass the part in his script where you need to use a certain ability that I don't have. So... That's a good line. He might just die. I don't actually remember exactly how this is gonna go. So we'll whip out something strong and see what happens. Okay, he didn't just die. Oh, that was nice and strong. Let's get him poisoned for fun. Mind explaining what the hack change is? I feel like I keep doing this. In fact, I did it earlier with no audience just for the sake of the recording. So what the hack changes is, first of all, I've got FF6 Ted Woolsey Uncensored Edition, which is mostly a text edit that is quite popular, that I haven't played before. And it's basically a modernization thing. The script is a little bit aligned to one of the more popular fan translations and to the Game Boy Advance version. Spells are renamed to be more like modern Final Fantasy conventions, items, things like that. Okay, now to see what happens here. Then I added my own hacks to allow myself to beat this game with Knight, Thief, White Mage, Black Mage. So people are organized into these classes in such a way that throughout the game it's pretty easy to select a party of one Knight, one Thief, one White Mage, one Black Mage. Knights have no command abilities, but most of their exclusive equipments give them the two-hand option and the cover ability. Thieves have steal and flee commands. White Mages have a pray command that's weaker than Banon's, and white magic. Espers have also been aligned to either white or black, so that it's easier to distinguish the white and black mages. And the black mages have the morph command, which just looks silly when someone other than Terra uses it, especially when Mog uses it, I would guess, but I haven't seen it yet. And black magic. So I have access to a lot of things. I'm missing most of the specialty commands. I don't really know how I win this, by the way. Uh-oh, he's turning red. That might be a bad thing. We can just keep damaging him, I guess. How the morph command would look on... What it seemed to do, because I had Setzer use it once, is he turned into naked Terra, you know? Why is Realm's damage so terrible? Ooh. Jeez. That sucks. Yeah, it's pretty funny. What's neat is it works. But the way the morph command is coded... ooh, okay. it has a duration based on how many magic points Terra's earned. And I do believe it's based on how much Terra's earned, not how much anyone's earned. Wow, that's actually a coded response. That's interesting. I wonder how to end this battle. This might be a huge mistake, I'm thinking, because of that lightning counter. And their equip options are also based around their class, which matters a fair bit. Oh, okay. That was random. I like that it didn't trivialize the battle. That's what I ended up having to do to Vargas. Give him some stupid, useless amount of HP. Realm, you should be in the front row. You're a knight. Grow up. You want offense relics. The Gygus Glaive and Hyper Wrist have been working well for my other knights. You want strong gear, you want one hand. Is Flame Tongue there? There's lots of fire weak enemies in this area. You're gonna want the Green Beret. And I think you're gonna want the Gaia gear. No, the Power Sash. Yeah. There we go. It's a little better. That was fun. And now we're back to having an organized classic set of classes. So that feels good. Which ones go to treasure chests? The animal costumes I repurposed into robes, so we might actually get a new, again, semi-arbitrary piece of equipment here that could be useful. I've been using the word arbitrary a lot to describe what I've done here. Because, I mean, it sort of is. Chocobo robe. Let's learn more. It teaches warp and gives you high speed. And it can be used by white mages and black mages. Warp, that's interesting. I don't see a lot of reason we'll need that, but this is pretty good. Lose magic. We'll take turns with it to learn warp. I think the Tabby suit might do the exact same thing. Oh, that's cool. Kick out the only one that could actually use the experience. Tabby robe. Oh, it doesn't teach anything. Is it better than Gaia Gear? Oh, maybe a little. Stat boosts. If we're not expecting earth attacks, sure. I wonder if this is going to play out the exact same way again. Yep. Cool. This is another one of those, and maybe I'm just not used to it, but I complained about an area having a high encounter rate yesterday. I feel like this one does too. But, you know, maybe I'm just a wimp. Other games on my list. I had a really good plan to do an FF4 version. And it's fully planned, but when I got to implementation, I was using a well-known Final Fantasy IV hacking tool called FF4kster, and it kept corrupting my ROM again and again and again, to the point where I got frustrated enough that I kind of wanted to take a vacation from it. So that's what happened there. I would like to do Final Fantasy IV. I've got a plan to do Final Fantasy IV, but it's not going especially well. I'm also fully prepared for Tactics and Tactics Advance, but I kind of don't know if I want to. And then I don't know what to do. I mean, it seems like if I've done all the other numbered ones that have 4-person parties, that I should do Final Fantasy II. The main issue being I don't want to. But maybe I do. I could think of some interesting things to do with that. Come on. Nothing. Oh, crap. Let's just get out of here. This is stupid. I think I'm going to save at the save point and then go to bed, by the way. I'm sorry you only showed up at the end. Yeah, Final Fantasy, you know, I've started playing through it on 2 occasions and never really got into it. And the bonus stuff in the GBA version actually sounds pretty tempting to me. It sounds cool. But I don't know. It has yet to draw me in successfully. And then I was thinking, what could I do in other games? I was thinking, like the Might and Magic series, you could do the same thing. A lot of the Dragon Quest series, you could do the same thing. I don't know if I want to open the can of worms, but... And then I've been watching FFMQ? How? What? No. With the 2-person party? There's been a lot of interesting FFMQ challenges done. I was reading some variant play stuff from that game recently. And I think it's all possible. People who did minimum items and minimum experience. Yeah. Could do Final Fantasy Legend games. Those are fun. There's lots of options. That was all I came for? Jeez Louise, I thought it was something good. So then a really funny one I thought of recently, and you can tell, you can shoot me down if you want. Because I was watching this thing, there's this guy who streams an AI tournament for Civilization 4. and it amused me so much that I was like, what if you made 4 civilizations? Knight, Thief, White Mage, Black Mage, and you gave them kind of properties representative of those classes. How would those AIs work out? But I think it would end up being one-sided to Fighter, or possibly Black Mage, I'm not sure. Peaceful people have a bad time in Civ 4 AI. I'm not, you know, from here we end up in kind of cutscene paradise. So I'm gonna leave it now, and I'm gonna go to bed. Nice having you drop by, though. Yeah, if you have ideas for other things I can do, let me know somehow. But it takes me forever to play these games, so no rush. But I would absolutely keep going with this. At some point I'll want to do something else. I learned recently about, I didn't realize, there's a pretty good randomizer for Phantasy Star 4. I'd love to play with that. Yeah, good seeing you. Good night. Oops, I closed my thing before I stopped my stream. That was weird.